Hey, here's some reviews from the stuff I got last week. So today we're drinking Stormbreaker Hop It Don't Drop It Hazy IPA. It's pretty good. Cheers. That's good. All right. Start with Marvel. Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, Black Panther. Man, I was super excited for this one. And I was kind of let down. It was just like it's not even like T'Challa. It's the Black Panther. It's just some random guy, uh, and he's like a slave and like a prisoner, and there's with a bunch of other people in the same boat, and like no one has any memory of who they are or where they came from. But he keeps having this flashback of like him and his girl. This like his girl saying like come home, get back to me. And then there's like these like rebels that break everyone out of jail, and and then they're like, he rescues one of them that was helping out with the jailbreak, and so I guess he's part of the crew now of this like resistance. And they're like, yeah, our handles are taken from the legends of our past, so that we marooned in the empire are nameless no more. And to you I give the name of a man who was born a king and died a hero. I rise T'Challa. So that's him finally at the end, with M'Baku and I think Shuri. But those names are also given to just these random characters who aren't like the original people. Like guaranteed, I bet what's gonna happen is like there's gonna be some kind of prophecy or something where he like fulfills it or something, and or he finds out he's like the actual original T'Challa, and he's like the rightful heir to the throne or something. And they gotta take the empire back. Like it's gonna be some bullshit like that, guaranteed. I hope not. I hope it's better than that. But yeah, so these covers are fucking awesome. Art Germ did a beautiful job on this cover. I love this one so much, and this one's super cool too. But yeah, the art is really cool in these. I was just hoping for something more, and it's kind of like at the end, Ta-Nehisi Coates was like, stick around, there'll be answers, even though like we said nothing at all this issue. So I mean, I know a lot of people are like bouncing on that already. They're like, nah, we're not going to continue that, but I'm going to keep on for it for a while. Next is Hunt for Wolverine, Mystery and Madripoor. Both A and B covers. This cover is way better, the A one. Yeah, they just go to Madripoor because they think Magneto has something to do with Wolverine missing. And so, they get there and Magneto's waiting for them. And he's like, come to dinner. And they're like, all right. And then they're like, girls' night. And they get dressed up for a night out in Madripoor. And they get there and they see Magneto sitting at the table and they're eating with them. And they're like, oh, wait, something's wrong. And they find out it's not like Magneto. It was actually some psychic lady that was fooling them, pretending to be Magneto. And then, oh yeah, and it's like, oh shit, like Viper from the ex-leader of Hydra shows up. And so it's like a big fight ensues. And they pretty much just get taken out pretty quick because it was like a surprise attack. And like, so I think two of them make it out, and the other three are captured. So like Storm's captured, Rogue, and Psylocke. So I'm pretty sure Kitty Pryde and Jubilee made it out. I think that's all of them. There could be more characters. I don't really care. But yeah, oh wait, Domino. I guess Domino made it out too, I think. But yeah, that's fine. Like it's not the worst story ever. They've all like all these Hunt for Wolverine stories have been like adequate and mostly surprisingly better than I thought they would be. And the art was really cool in this too. I like the art. But yeah, I guess check it out if you want to. Infinity Countdown Darkhawk tie-in. This one was pretty decent. The art was like a little more cartoony, but I still enjoyed it, and like the coloring I thought was really awesome. So as an example of like the cartoon style on their parts, like you can see how the characters are kind of portrayed. And so that's what that looks like. Then like when it has like action scenes of like him driving and yeah, like this is pretty cool. It has this like this nice color, nice shading. The storyline's pretty cool because like I was not familiar with Darkhawk at all. I knew I was a little bit, like I knew some things like kind of like the basis of of the character, and they totally go over everything and they say how things have changed, how things are not like that anymore, and they give you like the new rules really, and then yeah, at the end he's gonna take a spaceship. So I'm sure he'll be meeting up with the Guardians of the Galaxy soon or something. But yeah, it was better than I thought it would be, and I'm gonna pick up the next one, and I'm probably gonna read this one again before the next one to you know jog my memory on the mythos of how his suit and stuff works now, how they think it works actually, because I don't think they even quite know. Next is Invincible Iron Man 600. Brian Michael Bendis' last issue for Marvel, and it was just a clusterfuck. I thought it's super thick for a good reason. I mean, he's just trying to like wrap everything up all at once, and I mean the art was really cool. Like this spread was like probably the best part of this comic book. Like this 2-page spread of like Doom bots, like the Iron Man Doom bots, and also Iron Man suits. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, and then like the art changes throughout this book as well. Some parts are pretty cool, some parts are okay, and they don't really like. I don't know. I was kind of confused at like the ending for the Doctor Doom, Iron Man. So I don't know. If someone could explain that to me, because it seems like the Hood takes him to somewhere else, and the next time it shows him, he's like crawling on the floor, and then this like big pink cloud comes out, and I think like the small town just crumbles, or the small castle, and then that's it. So I don't know if he dies, I guess, or what. But yeah, he's like, sorry, there's glare or not, I can't see, but he's crawling, and then like pink stuff comes out and like crumbles, and then like that's all you see. I guess that's the end of Doom. But it just talks about his sacrifice and how Tony Stark will never know. And then then it cuts to the future, which is like these like stories we're probably never gonna hear, or touched on again. For some reason, like Brian Michael Bendis had like this huge boner for trying to make Tony Stark Doctor Strange, and so at the end, I guess in the future, it becomes that's what happens. And like look at this like pelvis iron pulsator thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of glad he's moved on, and we'll see what he does with Superman. I don't. Those preview issues were not promising, but I don't know. It's not the official, so we'll see. Coming up, I think real soon. I want to say maybe tomorrow. Doctor Strange, Donny Cates' last issue. This one was strange. The art was strange too, until I changed art direction. It was just the aftermath events of everything. This one part, like Peter Parker, he tells Doctor Strange, he's like, yeah, so I hear that you can do things where you can talk to animals. It's like, all right, Peter, would you like want to talk to a spider? And look at that face he makes. Like that face is gonna haunt my nightmares like forever. And then it cuts to like a mini story called Peter Talks to a Spider by Donny Cates and Chip Zdarsky. And it's just this like strange conversation Spider-Man has with the spider. It's pretty humorous. But yeah, then at the end he makes friends again with his past friends, and she says she's not sticking around, which is good in my opinion. I didn't really like her very much. She was like really boring. And and then he takes off the temporary closed for business sign. So and then he goes to bed, and that's the end. That's the end of Donny Cates's run. I thought it started strong, and it kind of went downhill, but overall I would say it was good, and I liked Donny Cates for the most part. Old Man Hawkeye, Multiple Man Venom was pretty cool. The art in this is pretty insane. It's really, really nice. Like, look at these Venom stuff. Like, I'm burnt out in Venom, but like seeing this was awesome. Like, oh, these are cool. I like those guys. And then this is super cool. Pretty nice. Super violent, super bloody. This one you see an old Taskmaster hunting down Bullseye. And then at the end they go to some sanctuary, and Kate Bishop is the mayor of this little place, and there's a bunch of multiple man Venoms coming. But yeah, that's the end of it. It's been solid. Like, I really like Old Man Hawkeye. And I'm stoked about the next one. Moon Knight, I was wrong before. I thought it was going to be like a 2-part series of Moon Knight's origin, because that's how the issue prior was advertised. But I guess it's not. I guess like the last one, I guess they try to figure out where he got a lot of his emotional problems from, and it was apparently from going to like Tabernacle, and there was like this like priest guy that was torturing Jews like in the basement, and he was like a Nazi like survivor, and then I think he escaped, and I think that's where, like, I guess where Moon Knight's trauma came from. And then this one was a much better issue. This one, it was definitely strange. I wasn't digging the art at first. It was kind of a little goofy to me. It kind of looked like from the guy who did Legion recently, which I did not like. And then it changed itself later on. So like, yeah, it's like these like group of people. Then they have an orgy for science sake, I think. And then they're trying to continue their like scientific experiments and bond. And then they start transforming, and like the colors and the art in this like get really good. Like, this is like really cool like cutscene. Like it's like that 80s pink. Yeah, I guess like he ends up, he's actually in a movie theater, and he comes to, and he gets like a message saying there's like something going on at the museum. He goes to the museum, and there's like this creature, which is those people. They were just like all in one body. It's like weird flesh goo thing, and each time they touch somebody, they like suck them in, and it becomes part of them. So there's like this weird ball, blob, ever-changing mess, and like the art is like pretty insane too. And it's pretty sweet. Yeah, and then I think that's it. Check out this last page. Really cool colors. Yeah, I'll pick up the next one. I think he's like stuck in the body. But yeah, like the writing itself is okay. I like the art and the colors were probably the best thing about the book, in my opinion. That's all the Marvel stuff. DC, Justice League No Justice. I really, really wish they would have focused on each and every single like individual team, the 4 teams, one each issue, and you could have got those really cool character interactions, that you normally wouldn't have, because they're made up of teams of good guys and bad guys. So you really could have had some really fun conversations and things that happen, but instead you just get like snippets of like each team throughout every single issue, and it's maybe like someone, they might focus on one character, and then maybe someone like another character in the back would like say like a quip, and then like he'll never like talk again the whole entire issue. It's like just things like that really bugged me. But and I think this one was my favorite issue so far out of these past 3, issue 3. So there's one more to go. But this one, of course, it's not as convoluted because you can kind of stay in like certain locations and you kind of know what's going on already. So I feel like it flowed better. But like the art was pretty bad in a lot of parts. Like look at like what the fuck did they do to Wonder Woman? Like look at this. Like what a mess. Yeesh. Fucking woof. Check out like this Lex Luthor. Like, look at that. It's so bad. Like what the fuck? What are you doing? Who's responsible for this? There's multiple artists. The colors are good. Good job, Hi-Fi, with your colors. My favorite character was Starro because he was just making jokes all the time, and he got fucking ripped in half. That sucked. But you know, I hope since he's a starfish, he can grow limbs again, grow them back. But I just like don't think it's likely because I think everything blew up. So that's him getting ripped up, and then everything blowing up. But yeah, one more issue to go. I'm gonna be glad when this is over. It's over tomorrow. Yeah, so hopefully we'll get our, I guess, 3 different Justice League teams now. Justice League Dark, Justice League Odyssey, and the regular Justice League. So, I mean, I hope those are gonna be cooler than No Justice. Like, I think it's just because I got myself built up. I was like stoked for it. But it's whatever. Batman Detective Comics. It's the end of Tinian's run. A and B covers, and it was cool. I mean, he did a fantastic job. Like everyone did a fantastic job. Every single cover, like the A cover and B covers, this whole entire series are just beautiful, and the art inside too. You know, Brother I gets destroyed. You know, Tim Drake is redeemed. You know, everyone is redeemed really, and they all go their own separate ways to grow as people. But look how massive Batwoman looks to Tim Drake. She just engulfs him. She's like a fucking Goliath behemoth. She's like, look how huge she looks. Yeah, I thought that was just odd and funny. But yeah. I mean, it was cool, and the biggest surprise and reveal at the end, I thought, was that Clayface is actually alive, and he left a note for his friend, and then headed out of town. So that's cool, because like that was the saddest thing ever when Clayface died. Then he's like, I think Tim Drake said he's going to go to college, but instead he drives off somewhere else, and Alfred's like, oh, like he's going the opposite way of college, and Batman's like, oh, I trust him, like you can take off the tracker. But yeah, that's the end of it. Flash War, been stoked and waiting for this for so long. I think, well, not so long, it's like what the Flash annual, so it's not terribly long, but I had to wait until that whole entire Gorilla Grodd story was done with, because it was like 7 issues of fucking filler. But yeah, so as it said in the annual, you have that, what are they called? Task Force, aka the Renegades. So you have Commander Cold, Golden Guardian, Weather Warlock, Heatstroke, Mirror Monarch the Second, and they're like good guys, and they're trying to track down Iris for crimes that she committed. But yeah, it starts out they're like fixing a motorcycle in their house, her and Iris and the new Wally West, and so they're like fixing their motorcycle and stuff, and Barry and OG Wally, come in from saving the day from somewhere, and then yeah, like the Renegades show up, and they're like, all right, well we gotta take Iris with us, and Barry's like, all right, yeah, let's like, you can't take it, but like let's talk, and then Wally just like grabs her and bails and just like runs, and Barry's like, no, what are you doing? You're like kind of like admitting you're guilty by just bailing like that. And then she's like, so like they're running. He's like carrying Iris like for who knows how long, like down the street. And then she's like, Wallace Rudolph West, put me down now. And he's like, I just got you back. I'm not going to let them take you. She's like, I can take care of myself, Wally. And we don't ever run from a fight, remember? And then, like, Wally gets blasted with, like, this, like, ice gun. And then she just fucking bails. Like, she just runs. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, come on, Iris. And, of course, you know, new Wally and Barry fight everyone else. And it's cool, like, those guys have a yellow lantern on their side and says, beware your fears made into light. Let those who try to stop what's right burn like my power, Sinestro's might. And they just, like, unleash a bunch of... She just unleashes a bunch of reverse flash constructs, which is pretty badass. Yeah, there's, like, everywhere. Like, I wish you could see better. I'm sorry. It's so, like, dark. I can't record in the day, like, 24/7. But yeah, and then she busts out of a garage with the motorcycle they were working on, like, out of nowhere. It's like, one, like, Wally took her far away from the house. Like, she ran down the street. Like, did she go and run back while they were fighting to go get her motorcycle? And then did she go into, like, someone else's garage? And, like, I was like, okay, like, what the fuck is that? Because this fight didn't happen outside their own house. They totally ran away. But anyways, they give in, and they're like, all right, well, let's get this taken care of. Let's go to the future, where we don't need no rules. And I guess, like, Wally was the only one that didn't get taken with them. Instead, he got taken to a different place, and they find out it was like a trap, of course. And it's more like Hunter Zolomon Zoom saying, telling Wally that he can save his children. So that's going to be the premise of Flash War, is Wally trying to save his children that went missing and that they're lost in the Time Force or Speed Force. Alright, Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps. Dark Stars Rising. This has been solid. It's been really cool. The only thing they don't talk about on the cover is Kyle Rayner. You know, they recruit everyone else, pretty much. Guy Gardner takes on the Dark Star uniform, and Hector Hammond is going to try to become a hero. He's like, look at me, I'm a hero. But yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know about what's happening in that. I mean, the art in it is awesome. It's really good. Yeah, I thought I would have more to say about it, but no, that's all I need to know. This dude in the beginning, though, like, gets jacked by some Dark Stars. They come up and it's like blow a hole through his head. I thought that was pretty gruesome. But yeah, I recommend Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps. I don't really like the regular Green Lantern Corps storyline. You know, the Green Lanterns, I guess it's called. But Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps, I recommend. Good stuff. Terrifics. It's been fun. And this issue is just more focused on Invisible Girl, and they want to get her back home, or, you know, she wants to go home. And you find out that she wasn't actually there in, what was it, the Dark Universe. She wasn't there actually for 10 years. She was actually there for 32 years. And so, you know, time is different from there and, you know, in their normal universe. And so, you know, she found out her dad died 7 years ago, and her mom was super old. And, you know, they just kind of hug it out at the end. And that's the end of Terrifics. So she's probably going to be sticking with the Terrifics now instead of staying home like she wanted to originally. So now she's probably in it for the long haul. Next, the Dark Gods, Wonder Woman. This variant's really cool looking, but they're just eating ice cream, just being friends. And in this issue, they do not eat ice cream, and they are not friends in this. They just fight. Wonder Woman fights Supergirl, who's, I guess, is like possessed or something going on with, like, maybe it's the dark gods did this to her, I guess, apparently is what they're referring to. But Wonder Woman eventually knocks her out, and while she's fighting Supergirl, her brother Jason is having a meeting with like three witches, or I'm not sure what they're called. um, they can shapeshift and whatnot. I forget what the hell they're called. Damn it. But anyways, they have a lot of answers for him because he has a lot of questions about, like, his outfit and what its purpose was, and he finds out that it was supposed to be given to Wonder Woman, but he has it now, and he can't give up the uniform because it'll lose its power or something like that. And so then he meets up with Wonder Woman, and I guess these dark gods arrive. The clouds open, and then they're like, "Oh, it's not what I expected," and shit, let's put stuff together. They look like it's like kind of statues, little monoliths. Yeah. And they blast stuff out of their eyes, and I guess they're about to destroy something, and all of a sudden the Star Sapphires come and take away Wonder Woman. So now her brother Jason's left alone to defend the world against these dark gods, so he's probably going to get fucked up. I'm imagining that he's probably going to maybe die or do something to lose the outfit or uniform, and then maybe Diana's going to get it with maybe some combined power from the Star Sapphires. I don't know. Hellblazer, still going on. Long story arc. Yeah, it's been okay. It's just like his ex-girlfriend got possessed, and her body was possessed by like a legion of demons and spirits, and it's honestly not worth even going into. There's just so much that it's like going on you need to explain. But when I check it out, like normally, like you definitely have to start at the beginning of the good old days story arc to understand what's going on in this issue. You can't just jump in. That would not do it justice at all. But would I recommend it if you did start from there to now? Yeah, it's a bit convoluted at times, and it's pretty wordy and got like a lot of English slang. But yeah, it's okay. I'll probably continue to read Hellblazer like one more. See if the next story arc will be better. Hopefully it's shorter. But yeah, it's okay. I think there's just better detective, horror, occult stories out there by other publishers. Next is Batgirl, and I even got my variant today in the mail. I thought that was really cool looking, really nice. And it's just like sold out everywhere. But yeah, I was stoked to get one. Yeah, put this back over here. Yeah, and this is like the end of it's a 2-part story. The writing itself was okay. I don't think it was very good actually. I like the premise of it. I just don't think the execution of it was very good. But yeah, she's just pretty much stuck in her mind and finds a way to battle against her own mind to escape. She starts doing things that she doesn't think would be predictable. So like she ends up like kissing her crush in her imagination or something, and she like escapes into reality. But yeah, so it was pretty dumb, but it was was a fun idea. I like, stories about the psyche. Silencer, New Age of Heroes. Still reading this. It's funny because like all the covers of Silencer still have her wearing the visor, but inside the comic they got rid of the brim. And I'm glad they did, because I just really don't like the way that looks. But yeah, I guess at the end of this, her and Talia al Ghul are in a diner, and Deathstroke and I think one of the bad guys that's trying to vie for power of this dark organization, are like outside with a bunch of like, military guys to try to take out both Talia al Ghul and the Silencer. And the Silencer had her son with her, and so I guess the boy is going to know, that she is not just an innocent mother. And then Immortal Men. This issue I thought was better than the first one. It was just more direct. And, I guess the first one was just a clusterfuck of world building and just tons of characters. And this one, to an extent, it is too, but you kind of know of who they were in the past. But, it goes into a little more of two characters. And, yeah, it's okay. I'm probably going to stick with it and see how much the Batman Who Laughs is involved in it, because he's going to appear in the next issue. So I'm just looking forward to that, because I like that character. Take a little sip. Alright. So now we got Black Hammer, Age of Doom. And the last issue was cool. I like at the end, she's in some kind of weird, like almost like a Black Lodge kind of room. There's these like strange characters, and there's like this like zombie Ramones band playing. I thought that was really cool. And it kind of continues on a little bit. There's like in a small panel though, but the last one was like a huge spread of them playing, and the back cover of issue 1 was like one of the zombie Ramones' face on the back, and that was super cool. But yeah, this one, she gets dropped off in hell. And while the other characters that are stuck in the city try to go to a library and figure out some of the town's history. And I guess she gets her way out of hell, and she makes a friend along the way, and she enters the dream realm, Dreamland. So that's where she's going to be next. But yeah, there's some like trippy stuff in here. The art was pretty cool. It's all kinds of, when she first entered Dreamland, it's like this old school cartoons of floating numbers and things. But yeah, it's continued to be enjoyable, and I'm probably gonna pick up that new from the world of Black Hammer. It's like Quantum Man or Quantum World, or I don't know, Quantum something. It's not Quantum and Woody, but maybe it's not even Quantum. I know it starts with a Q though. Barrier is continues to be good. It's just they're still on that alien spaceship, and it's kind of like a meteor shaped. So now they're in a different part of it. They escaped through that water tube, and it looks like they're more into like a jungle area, I would say. Yeah, but I'm sure they'll get out. The Further Adventures of Nick Wilson is the last issue, little 5-issue mini. The writer, Eddie Gorodetsky, he's known for writing TV shows, and he is a really big music head. He likes a lot of different stuff like I do. He's good friends with Elvis Costello, I believe. Yeah, so he's like, writing comics now as well as movie scripts. And I think the best part, besides, the comic itself is enjoyable. It's just a guy trying to, figure out how to deal from, day to day, from going from the top to the bottom, or like, accepting normalcy. And he just kind of finds the courage of, from within to continue on and, change and grow. But, at the end of these issues, there's been really cool just music snippets and music history on just various subjects. And artists and literature and paintings and stuff. It's been cool, and like all about also like about himself, and those have been really nice. And like I was like thinking of selling them, just because it's done now, and I'm sure they'll hopefully it'll get renewed, and I'm sure it probably will, because it has enough support from a lot of celebrities. Even though it's not the most compelling comic book, by any means, but it's definitely, it was enjoyable to me. I liked it. Would I say it's for everyone? No, not at all. But yeah. So that's the further adventures of Nick Wilson. Her Infernal Descent, issue 2. I think in the last video I said Her Infernal Majesty. But yeah, it's okay. It's just so wordy. And I just don't like the main character, the old lady in this. I think she's complaining the whole way. I mean, yeah, I guess I would be too. You're walking through hell. She's like just not likable to me, and I'm like, I bet you anything at the end of this, she's gonna find out that she killed her family or some stupid shit like that, and she ends up staying there. Like that's probably how it's gonna end. But yeah, I mean, her tour guide is some like a poet, and they always meet always like historical figures. And just a bunch of historical figures and name checks like every issue, and he tries to give like or the writer tries to give always like historical figures their own little spotlight. It's okay. I thought it'd be way better and more interesting. Some parts are really psychedelic and like really cool landscapes and art every now and then, but like this next one, like Brothers Dracul, was so much better than Her Infernal Descent. It just flowed super smooth. The art was really cool, and a lot of parts of it, and it got the point across, where you need to go. It didn't feel like it was dragging. Like Her Infernal Descent just feels like you're like walking through hell in your sandals, like she is, just taking for fucking ever. Sir Edward Grey, Witchfinder, The Gates of Heaven. This was my first time reading a Witchfinder comic book, and I enjoyed it. I feel like he's definitely, from the pages of Hellboy, I feel like Mike Mignola is definitely trying to have a Sherlock Holmes occult vibe to it, and I'm digging it. I really want to check out the whole lot of other stories prior to that. There's a lot of stories prior to this one. Shadow Man 3. This variant cover is pretty cool. This issue is probably the best issue of Shadow Man I've read so far out of these 3 new issues. The art was really cool, and it just flowed easier, and it wasn't as annoying as the others. And then there's Deadly Class. These 2 covers, this variant's cool. Like this scene happened in the comic book, and this scene did not, though. I was really hoping this would be in there. There's a bunch of people rocking out. And yeah, Deadly Class is cool. It's just, I feel like it's a bunch of teen drama and double crossing and triple crossing and what have you. I like Rick Remender. He's a cool dude. I mean, I'd probably have to read more Deadly Class to make everything feel more important to me, but yeah, I'm sure I've heard nothing but great stuff about Deadly Class, so I definitely want to check it out from the beginning. I read issue 1, and that was it. But and they have a good little recap on the page 1, and I was like, okay, and like it said like this person betrayed this person betrayed that. I was like, all right, well that's what I'm gonna get into. But yeah, I'll get to it eventually. And then lastly, Greatest Hits, Judge Dredd. I guess IDW are kind of doing the same thing as Image and Marvel. They're $1 little issues, and it was just there's a Judge Dredd comic coming out tomorrow. I want to get, so I just wanted to kind of get familiarize myself with some of the Judge Dredd characters and mythos, the language, and of course it's an old story. that already came out. But yeah, it was okay. It was somewhat enjoyable. But yeah, hopefully the one tomorrow will be much better. All right, so done with the reviews. One last thing to talk over. I got this in the mail also. Analog variants, issue 1. You saw the Batgirl variants I got also. And then through eBay, I got these right here. Southern Bastards, Volume 1. Savage Things, Volume 1. And Killer Be Killed, Volume 1. For a total of $10 hairs. It's pretty awesome. I was pretty stoked to get this for $10. These 3. Dude was just giving away. Like, he probably bought like omnibuses or something. He was like, yeah, like whoever wants to get these, just have them. But yeah, I was stoked. So like that was like the best eBay deal. But yeah, that's it. And not too bad. I think I did everything in a fair amount of time. Usually I did under an hour. Normally, like, I'm always like bummed it takes an hour to explain so much stuff. I know I was like rushing shit at the end there. Yeah, it's done. I just want to give a quick shout out to Centauri Stir-Fry. Centauri Stir-Fry is a homie. He's a good guy. Check out his statues and his comic pulls on YouTube. I'll probably put a link down below. Also, GhostAbortions. He's a good guy. Yeah, there's some cool guys making some cool videos. Alright guys, well that's going to be it. I'm going to drink some more beer and play Overwatch. Alright, bye.